Let's finish up getting all of our content into our headless CMS by adding all of the variants for each product. The variants are going to be our different colors and sizes of product. The first thing that we're going to want to do is come over on the left in the Strapi admin dashboard and open up the media library. Okay, and this is where we're going to be able to store all of the pictures for the back end of the application. Near the beginning of this course, you should have seen the project files available for download. So make sure you've downloaded those files and you should see something like this folder. Although there may be more stuff in it that I'll add later in the course. But for now, you just need the inventory folder. This has all of the pictures that we're going to need and colors.txt. Okay, this is also the design file that you should have already taken a look at earlier. But let's go ahead and we'll open up colors.txt. I'll go ahead and make this nice and large so you guys can see that. And I'll go ahead and just minimize that for now and then open up the inventory folder. Here you'll find 60 pictures for all the different variants of our products. And you can see that even just having 5 different colors for the 3 different products that we have for our 3 different categories, along with having a male and a female version for our shirts, gives us 60 product variants. So that is why I didn't try to do more categories or more products, because this is already a decent amount to work with. So let's go ahead and in the media library, let's click upload assets and make sure you have this inventory folder open and go ahead and drag all of those files, all 60 of them, right on in just like that. So I did optimize all of these, so it should be relatively small file sizes. So go ahead and if you've got all 60 in there, go ahead and upload those to the library. And that may take just a few minutes. All right, and thankfully that wasn't too bad since the file sizes are pretty small. So let's go ahead now and let's actually open up the content types builder again real quick. And if we go down to the variant, let's actually edit the style here. The style, we're not going to need every variant to have a style. That's only going to be for our shirts for a male and female. So we actually don't need to make this required. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish up there. And let's actually do the same thing with size. Let's not make size required either because our hats won't have a size. They're all one size. So let's go ahead and finish, make those changes and hit save. We'll wait for that to restart. All right, and once that's finished up, we can go over onto the left-hand side under collection types and select variants. Now we can go and add a new variant. We're now going to need to go in and add 5 different variants, one for each of the different colors for each of the products that we just created. Okay, so this might take just a little bit of time. I promise this will be the only part that's tedious like this. I'm going to have the video sped up as I go through and enter all of this information, but there are a couple important things you need to keep in mind as you're going and entering yours. First off is the size field. Okay, for our hoodies and our shirts, but not the hats. Remember, our hats won't have a size field. They will just all be one size. But for our hoodies and our shirts, they are going to have a size included with them. So you'll need to make sure to enter either an S or an M or an L. Okay, and make sure to do that. Let's do it uppercase. Uppercase S, uppercase M, or uppercase L for small, medium, or large. And you can pick whichever you would like. Just try and make sure that for each product that you put in, you have at least one variant for each size. Okay, so just try to cycle through small, medium, and large. That way, in our application, we'll be able to reflect having the different sizes. And we'll also be able to reflect not having the different sizes, because if we were to put in a single different size for every variant for all of our products, that would be even larger than what we're doing. So we're just going to enter one size per variant. Instead of having our black code block hoodie having a small, medium, and large variant entries, we're just going to do one of those. So pick a medium. And then for the code block red hoodie do large, and cycle through it like that. And that'll just be to speed things up for getting us going in our application. In your real application, of course, you would need to create a different variant for every single size of every single product. Then for color, that is why I included that colors.txt in our project files, because we want to make sure that for the different variants we're creating, we use these colors for whichever color we're entering. Okay, so whether it's the white, black, green, tan, or red version of that product, make sure you're entering these strings without quotes, so just these strings as the color property. And that'll just make sure that everything looks the same later on. Then for quantity, you can go ahead and make up whatever quantity you'd like, but try to keep it to 2 digits, so nothing over 100. And then for price, you can go ahead and create any price you would like. Again, let's keep it under $100. That'll just ensure some consistency later on. For style, remember we're only going to enter style for the shirts that we are putting in. And so that'll be either a capital M for the male or capital F for the female. And all of the female shirts you can tell because they have a thinner cut. So that's the female versus the male. And the file names all have a -F in the name. So shirt 2 -black -F -FS8. They all have the -FS8 because that's from what I used to optimize them with. So just make sure you're putting in the correct data for all your variants, and then when you click images, that'll just let you quickly select whichever image for whichever product you're hoping to enter. Okay, so we'll go through and then make sure, of course, you select the correct product. And it looks like because we have them all named the same name and it's only showing up just the name here, that might be a little confusing. So let's go ahead and I'll just create a couple of dummy examples real quick so that we can make sure that these are in the order that we expect them to be. Wow, and actually it looks like it rearranges them based on what you click on. So I don't know if we can reliably use this just to figure out which one they are. So I'm really sorry about this, but let's go back to our categories, or our products rather, and let's go ahead and on each of these, let's add a space dash and then the category that it is. So I++ space dash space hoodie. Okay, make sure you do the space dash space and then the category name, because that'll make it easy for us to trim off later. Okay, so go ahead and make those changes. I'm real sorry about that, but this will just make it a little more clear as we work which products we're working with. Alright, so now I've got category name in each of the product names. So when we go to variants and create our new variant, we can select our product and make sure we're selecting the right one. Okay, so go ahead, make sure you follow the instructions I gave before about the sizes for small, medium, or large. You can pick whichever one you want, pick whatever price, pick whatever quantity, just keep them both under 100. And style, make sure you get the M or the F for our shirts. Okay, so go ahead and start creating your product variants. Okay, I hope that didn't take you too long to knock out. It wasn't too terrible, but I promise this is absolutely the worst part of the course, having to just get all this information in for us to work with. Here at the beginning is a little tedious. That's why it's nice that you can define your content types, and then hopefully you could be letting somebody else enter all your content in a real world setting, like your editor or whoever's in charge of that sort of thing, while you could then be focusing on the actual code and the project itself. But make sure you have 60 entries under your variants. Make sure you get all those in there. And if you've got that, then we are all set to really start taking off in the next section of the course.